Hi everyone, I'm back today to share another journal with you. A lady by the name of Misty contacted me some time ago and asked me to make her a journal using the Shabby Roses kit that I had used back in the fall. And so I am here today to share with you and with Misty the journal that I've come up with. So I've used, as I typically do, a book. I've used one of the kit images on the front. And the book, I painted this teal color and then used some crackle medium over top, and then on top of that I've used a vintage white color, and it's come out really pretty. I have sewn 3 signatures in, and I've sewn it into cardboard and then glued that into the spine so that there's no stitching showing on the outside. And the closure is just these eyelets with some seam binding that I've used. And on the side I've added a charm, and that's just a double tied bow. And I've included the charm just clipped underneath there, Misty. It won't be on the book when I send it to you, since that seems to cause a bit of a problem and they like to come off if you do that. So it'll be in the package, and it's just got a little lobster clip there that you can just clip it back on. And I've just used one of the Tim Holtz rings there, and it'll go on fairly easily. So the charm is pretty simple. I've got a little key, and there's a little heart there, and just some beads that match the collection. And with the lobster clasp, then you can choose to not use it if you find it gets in the way. And I have left the cover fairly plain and flat because Misty told me she was going to be using this for journaling, and I wanted to make sure it was fairly flat for her and easy to use. So she asked me to make a 5x7, and that's what this is, and I agree with her. I think 5x7 is a great size for journaling, so this is what this book is. There's lots of space to tuck things and journal, and little journaling cards and so on throughout, and pockets. So I have not included a pocket in the front or the back. I've just added coffee dye paper and a little bit of coffee dyed lace there just to finish the side. So I'll just do a quick flip. This kit is beautiful if you've seen it before. I've done my usual, some doilies and a little bit of stamping. This is a printable from Marion Smith. It is not a part of the kit, although it does go beautifully with the kit. A little glassine bag, and I just added a postcard as a pocket. And so throughout I've used some of the embroidery floss that I actually sewed the signatures with. Lots of lace here, you can see on the bottom. I've done lots of lace, lots of fibers, lots of seam binding. And then this is a little pocket that was from the collection. And I've done a little bit of stamping here. This just says, always wear your invisible crown. And I like that saying, so I like to include that in most of my books. And I've used some fairly wide lace here as a little pocket, and I've included a few of these journaling booklets, and it's just folded paper with some stamping, and you could add a title there if you wanted to. This is an envelope just for tucking things, and on the outside here I've left that open. That's an additional spot for tucking things, and then the flap of the envelope has a tuck spot there. This little side pocket. And Misty also asked me to include some vintage lady images, so I've done that, and you'll see those sprinkled throughout the book. So this is a little glassine bag, and I've added just a couple of images, and I've used, I don't think you can tell, but I've used lots of stickles on that. And in the center of the signature, I've just added a couple of butterflies, double-sided butterflies to the strings. I've seen a few of the ladies doing that recently, and I really like that, so I thought I would add that as just a little extra touch. This is just a top tuck spot, and another glassine bag with a really pretty library card there from Tsunami Rose. Really pretty trim there. And just a pocket with some journaling cards and more of that note paper just folded. So all these things, of course, can be taken out and moved around, and, you know, Misty's own things added in place of these things. Little ticket for a title, and more note paper, and another one of the vintage lady images. And on the back, I've left them white because I think white is easier to journal on. And I've just done a little bit of inking around the edges and then just some stamping there. And just a few other tags there. Lots of tuck spots. There'll be a few other things going in this book. I'm not showing everything, just because there needs to be a little bit of a surprise. More journaling space there. There as well. And that's a little lace pocket with a little image tag that matches the kit. And there's a little top tuck spot. And this is a glassine bag, and I've just added this image, and I've left the image open here as a tuck spot, and then added some lace for a little pocket there. And just some lace on the back. This is the center of this signature, and I've glued those pages together as a pocket. And of course, can journal there. And then on the back, I've got just some narrower lace there as a pocket. But still lots of room to journal there as well. And these doilies, Misty, if you want to glue them down to be tuck spots, or I've just left them as a page because I didn't know what you might want to do with them. And this is the other side of that glassine bag, and I've cut it on the top as a pocket for a tag. And then on the back, I've got just a couple of things there for journaling. And here's another side pocket. Another tuck spot there. And on this page, I've added, left that open to tuck some things in. Lots of space for journaling here. And this is, again, another top tuck spot there. Isn't this kit gorgeous? Look at these images, are just wonderful. Another glassine bag for storing some things. Use lots of lace in this. So just a few journaling spots. This tag, I've added a little pocket on the back for tucking some secret things in maybe. And this, I love that image of that little girl sleeping. And I've added some stickles around her little headdress there, and just added a couple of journaling spots there. This is a larger one, and I've just stamped on the back of that as well. And this is a vellum pocket, and I've added a Marion Smith printable that I've made into a pocket. A little tag there, and just some more of those pretty butterflies. And another tuck spot. This is a top tuck spot here, and then this is an envelope that folds out for tucking things away, and then the tuck spot on the back. And again, more butterflies. And again, on this lady, I've done lots of stickling around her coat there. Again, another tuck spot. Another glassine bag with a really pretty image there. And this is a top tuck, and there's some butterflies with some stickles and a little bit of pearl trim there. Again, a bit of lace and lots of journaling space. And this is another side pocket. Really pretty vintage lady image here. And we've got a little library card in there as well. And there we go, that's the book. Misty, you'll notice that I have not included tabs as I usually do. And I felt because once I got it done, the pages were fairly close to the edge, and I didn't know whether you were going to be carrying this with you places or whether you were leaving it at home. So I'm going to include the tabs, and if it works for you, you can add them. And they are not double-sided, so they're single-sided. And so you would just glue this to one side of the page, this to the other side of the page, and then just match them up. And that's how you can add your tabs. So I will include those as well. So Misty, I hope you like this. I really enjoyed making it. It's such a beautiful kit to use, and the colors are just stunning. So thanks everyone for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks.